What's up, guys, and welcome back to the SLI Invitational. This is Game 3 in the lower bracket game between Infamous Young and Midas Club Victory. Obviously, lower bracket means these two are fighting for their tournament lives in order to stay in, and also to have the, fun, quote-unquote, privilege of facing Infamous should they be deemed the victors. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game, and we've had ourselves two quite convincing games. It did seem like it was a lot to do with the lanes. Lich, the all-star, I would say, of Game 1 in favor of Midas Club, and then Game 2, Midas Club, they were firing off on all cylinders. Like, it's hard to say that one person was the standout there. And they had the CK that was getting kills everywhere. Io was doing his job. The Nature's Prophet, I think, played extremely well. That's why we see Nature's Prophet and Lich banned out right now, by the way. And the Viper is doing Viper things. It's not really that easy to do, that hard, rather, to do a super impressive Viper. Let's be honest, guys, Viper kind of plays himself. But still, they played it well. And now we're going to wait for a very long time as Midas Club decide if they want to set up for potentially a Necrophos. It's still in. Got a little bit of the internal meta in this best of 3. Was banned out in the previous games. Going AA first pick and then picking up Necrophos second is fairly standard. We've seen a surprising lack of Spirit Breaker, actually, in this series. I feel like in all the other sets, Spirit Breaker has been first pick. Like all of them, actually. Or at least picked up with a very high amount of consistency. So to see this departure from the norm, certainly very interesting. Coddle of the Light. Got Midas Club getting a little bit of a curveball as well. Of course, this hero is very, very powerful counter push-wise. If you can set up for a little bit of that Illuminate action early on, it is a devastating nuke. Not the easiest thing to do, but well worth their time. And of course, it's always about that Ag's timing. If you are able to get up that Aghanim Scepter, you can do some insane things with the vision you have, with the mobility, and of course that Heal Illuminate, which is a very balanced spell once it's daytime. Doesn't necessarily prevent Infamous Young from setting up for Necrophos as well. I mean, most of the games, it feels like, draft-wise at least, the first and foremost thing that any team does is see how can we disable or enable for ourselves a Necrophos. Seems like Infamous Young, though, are going to say, screw all that jazz. We're going to try to run back what just happened in the last game. Wu's going to grab that Io, I would assume, and now we got a Bristleback right off the bat. This is a pretty interesting way to go. In the last game, they really, really were patient in holding out for that Io partner.
10 seconds remaining.
Now, it seems like they're just going to jam it home right away. And with these two heroes, it signifies to me that these two heroes are both going to go towards the off lane. And they're going to look for some blood, man. This is what this duo does. I don't like it quite as much as an Io with a Legion Commander. I love that combo in the off lane. But it certainly is very powerful as well. Especially when you're going up against the Keeper of the Light, who you know is very clunky in dealing with lane fights. Like, you can contribute, but you're going to have to be doing it from a distance. If you ever get caught, you're dead. He's very quick, though, and maybe that speed, movement speed of the Coddle will keep him safe versus this Bristleback Io combo, but it does seem like Infamous are setting up for a little bit of aggressive power. Midas Club will grab the Necrophos after all, but kind of a roundabout way of doing it. Now it feels like they have to use a ban on AA. They're going to take out Nyx first of all. And Infamous Young just taking out, just generally powerful heroes. Very self-sufficient heroes. Is AA really viable here? Io Bristleback, again, might be going towards that off lane. Might be a setup for a tri-lane. AA doesn't really contribute all that much to it, but is so good up against the Necrophos. Outside of that, for Infamous Young, downside of picking up a very early Bristleback, especially up against Necrophos, is that he is 100% physical based, and Ghost Shroud is an ability. An ability that Bristleback really doesn't have a way of taking care of. So it does feel like Infamous Young need to pick up someone who is going to have some natural way of purging off that Ghost Shroud or some high burst damage. Bristleback is neither of those things. Very slow, consistent damage from this Bristleback hero. Something like an Invoker for Infamous Young can certainly give them the punch they need in order to deal with that Necrophos. There's an infinite amount of heroes they can get Shadow Fiend, TA, even maybe a little more of a greedy mid lane. They don't know what it's going to be just yet. I wonder what Midas Club is going to do here. They've certainly risked the AA. And Necrophos up against AA is not fun, but that's only if you can make the AA work in your lane. Again, I'm not really sure if that's a possibility. Earth Spirit's the pick, so the Necrophos, as far as healing is concerned, is in the clear. Infamous Young are going to, definitely want that 4-position aggressive type hero. That Tusk has been serving them pretty decently in the past couple of games. And Earth Spirit, Tusk, they're fairly similar. Although Tusk Snowball up against Reaper's Scythe. Shit's insane, man. If you're a Necrophos and you have that happen to you, it feels pretty bad. So Earth Spirit along with that Bristleback. A preemptive silence, a form of initiation, a little bit small scale initiation, but still nonetheless good up against that Necrophos if you are able to get on top of him. Puck is still in the pool for Midas Club. They do have options as to where they want to put this Necrophos. We've seen Necrophos in actually all lanes, so you probably assume safe lane Necrophos until a couple more cores are picked up. Midas lacking that 4 position, that mirror to the Earth Spirit. Bounty Hunter has a possibility. Not anymore, really. Slaughter looks like he'll be taking that role. I'm not really too sure about this. Slaughter's really good at finding and killing off IOs. The amount of damage he puts out from that supporty role, assuming he is going to be a supporty type hero, is substantial, but with a Coddle and a Necrophos, it's really not the right type of damage. Necrophos and Slaughter don't really have insane synergy there. That's fine as long as the Slaughter is able to land those crushes. Again, mostly targeting that IO. Bristleback is going to be fairly resistant to that pretty much no matter what. You got to do what you got to do, though. I was going to say, you can go for a Bounty Hunter type hero, try to mirror that Earth Spirit, but going for Slaughter is pretty reasonable as well. Here we go. This looks like a little bit more of the SA that I've been watching. Oh, they also could have gone for, what's-his-face, Spirit Breaker. They're just ignoring that guy. Poor Spirit Breaker. Did he get, nerfed in the past 24 hours or something? They just don't want him.
10 seconds remaining.
Infamous Young will grab the Bloodseeker. They still don't really have any great way of dealing with the Necrophos. Bloodseeker with a Diffusal is perfectly reasonable. So you can get rid of that Ghost Shroud. Rupturing and or using the Blood Right on the Necrophos is quite nice. Now Midas Club are going to stack up a little bit of that physical damage. Picking up a Slaughter just for Slaughter's sake is pretty weak. You definitely do want to have some way of amplifying that Corrosive Haze. And that's just heroes that right-click things. TA is definitely one of those heroes, I would say. Minus armor galore. It has a pretty good matchup, pretty much universally against these heroes in lanes from Infamous Young. And Infamous Young's damage is not really spell-heavy in burst. Earth Spirit doesn't really do damage, nor does IO. Bristleback and Bloodseeker's damage is kind of situational. So Midas Club does seem like they have a little bit more flexibility in how they're going to be approaching these kills.
5 seconds remaining.
Of course, once you get Rupture on the Infamous Young side, you'll be able to, pick your targets pretty calmly, pretty safely. But up till then, Earth Spirit is going to be handling this game. Klink's taken out, fearing that mass physical right click. And Slaughter still might be going towards off lane. I don't really think that's a thing that they want to be doing. TA, you could assume, is going towards mid. So from the safe lane, there aren't really a ton of heroes that are huge in that minus armor.
5 seconds remaining.
They could go for a safe lane Void and put Necrophos in the off lane. That could be interesting. They can go for Brewmaster and put him in the off lane, Necrophos safe, Templar Assassin mid. Brewmaster is not that bad. Bloodseeker, Bristleback need to land their right clicks. And up against a Brew, up against a Keeper of the Light, they're already going to miss quite a few. Not to mention the fact that every single right click you do land might not really be that effective up against Templar Assassin and her shield. I really like what Midas Club have done here. Infamous Young, their cores seem like it's a little bit too hit or miss. Once Bloodseeker, Bristleback fall behind, it's impossible to recover. And also once you get hit with that beer from the Brewmaster, you are pretty darn useless. And Brewmaster, as far as anti-Bloodseeker is concerned, like, is near the top of that list, man. If you get ruptured, you just split and walk away, no big deal. If you're against him in lane for whatever reason, you just haze him constantly and you'll never be able to get those CS. You just right-click him down. I like this brew quite a bit here. Definitely not a hero that's very oftenly seen, but since Infamous Young don't really have a lot of magic burst, I do think it'll work out pretty well for them. Quap is going to be the last selection here. We'll see if the Bristleback is going to get any help from that IO. And Bloodseeker definitely doesn't need that help, so throwing the Queen of Pain towards safe lane, is that going to happen? Robo's been playing the mid lane so far. Quap versus TA is always an interesting matchup to watch. Makes the Quap struggle a little bit more to get that free chip damage going up against TA. Even if you don't get any meld, Refraction is pretty powerful up against that Queen of Pain. And Queen of Pain, Earth Spear, definitely a dual lane that can punish a TA. And it's a lane that Slaughter can't really do much against. If he is going to want to sit in that mid lane and try to help out, you won't really be able to do much up against Quap. You'll just fall back and start right-clicking you. It's a whole mess. So Infamous Young definitely need to try to win as much as they can in these lanes. If they are able to get a little bit of a start, they can snowball completely out of control. The Midas Club do have comeback mechanics for sure. They have the team fight. They have the scythe, most importantly. But they may be slightly lacking in control. Again, if Slaughter is going to fall behind, or if the Keeper of the Light doesn't get quite enough farm because he's constantly getting picked off. Overall, though, I would say I like what Midas Club have just a little bit more. I think they can handle pretty much all of these heroes, and any lane that they do lose shouldn't be to the degree where that hero is just completely knocked out of the game. They all can recover, given just a couple minutes of free farm. TA can easily recover, we've seen it time and time again. Necrophos just needs a handful of scythes to land, and of course Brewmaster is Brewmaster. He's always going to have that split. And even if he doesn't have the split, for whatever reason, got the beer, Drunken Haze. Mischance 70%. Good freaking luck, Bloodseeker. Hey, there's that SA pause that I was expecting. So yeah, tied 1-1. We'll see what this, what these lanes are gonna look like. Again, possibility for the IO to lane with the Bristleback. What's the opposition there? Necrophos, Coddle with a Slardar, it looks like. Not really sure if that dual lane is strong enough to get those kills. On the Coddle it will be, but on everyone else it's going to be a little bit more questionable. And just trying to gun for a Necrophos with a Bristleback, it involves like quill spray spam, and involves, you know, getting through the Ghost Shroud, which is obviously tough. And Necrophos is 100% of his games going to be going for Magic Wand, Magic Stick, like regardless of matchup, and it's just incredible up against these heroes. So putting a lot of eggs into that dual offlane basket for Infamous may be ill-advised. Do you guys think there's actually a computer problem right now? Or do you think this is just one of the excuses? One of the big bag of excuses. You know what excuse I haven't heard in a long time? Sorry, Skype. Like 2 years ago, that used to be the go-to. I mean, using Skype in 2017, right? But they haven't said that in quite a long time. I don't think I've heard sorry Discord for a while. Maybe a better product? I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. Who knows? At least in this game for Midas Club, they're again on the Radiant. Infamous are again on the Dire, but I don't think they're going to be doing any dual lane shenanigans. That doesn't seem like it'll really work. Well, if they do dual lane, it's either up against a Quap, in which case they can never kill her. If it's up against Bloodseeker, like if it's like a Slardar Brewmaster offlane, that could actually be decent. I can see that being pretty effective. Does seem like they'll be trying to like beat a dead horse at that point. It's like, just stop trying to do that. Just do something different. It clearly didn't work in the last game. Pauses. Feels bad, man. It doesn't really seem like we have much to go off of here either. TA versus... Bloodseeker does have Poor Man's Shield right from the get-go. Could be versus the Bloodseeker, could be versus the Quap still, although this is definitely not a mid-laney type build. It's fine for the mid lane. Obviously, you don't really need that much, but usually you have a more Null Talisman build up. I wonder if this Earth Spirit can actually get anything done. Dominic has been kind of hit or miss. Really tough to go on some of these heroes. Like, even if you do find a Slardar, they'll just crush and walk. Everyone else, they have their own responses as well, so definitely needs the allies to be there in force. And even then, like, again, Coddle's really the only one you can really kill. Everyone else, they have at least some tools to defend themselves. Well, Smoke's gonna run into each other. Brewmaster gonna see the Earth, and Earth will see nothing. He didn't have an obs to place or anything like that, so he just wanted to see what he can get up there. Not that much. He's going to run into Tala now. I think they see each other, and I'm pretty sure Earth is not going to try anything here. If he does, he's going to be rolling into a crush, and I wouldn't recommend that. Looks like the lanes are going to be, well, at least for right now, seemingly like those dual lanes I mentioned, but Slaughter does have the boots of speed, so yeah, you could end up anywhere at the end of the day. Right now, though, showing the Earth Spirit what's what. Earth Spirit does have the Tango regeneration first, and Slaughter actually doesn't have that much HP regen here. Haven't gone for the boots. Benyaz, he's going to show up as well. You know, these guys love to fight. Like, they're just going to walk right up. Roll is going to come in, connect onto the Brewmaster. Another crush is going to have to be thrown out, but Brewmaster taking quite a few hits here is going to decide to back off. He's going to clap and try to leave, but Benyaz already took the bounty rune. Already leveled up Shadow Strike, another crush. The third one might just kill off this Earth Spirit. Quick Fairy Fire, not dead yet, and now Dashka's in a lot of trouble. Orb of Venom slow with the Shadow Strike. He has no more mana, he'll be flattened by the Rolling Boulder. And that'll be Infamous taking, a 2-2 boundary rune split, but still, that's first blood. Or the Earth Spirit as well, had boots in the quick buy, and hey, look at that, he can afford the boots, if he so desires. Quap in the safe lane is going to be impossible to deal with, as far as killing her off. You kind of have to accept the fact that she's going to be getting farm, and Slaughter obviously knows that fact. He's going to try to go somewhere else and help out. Up against this Bloodseeker, you certainly can just start right-clicking him and crush, try to deny him that extra sustain, but Slardar's amount of damage he can put out with only a low-level TA is limited. So yeah, you can crush, yeah, you can right-click, but Robo still should, on average, be able to land those last hits and keep himself pretty decently sustained. But Dashka, I mean, not like he has anything else to do, right? Just burn your mana pool. He's actually taking more damage than Robo is, and now Robo, what's your CS looking like? None? No, he's gonna miss that one. Take quite a few shots from Tala. Gotta be careful there. There we go. Always a dangerous game whenever you drop down to that half or third HP mark as Bloodseeker. But he should be fine right now. In the meantime, bottom lane, it is going to be that IO Bristleback duel. And they're going to wander into an Illuminate that should land perfectly. It will. Arms, though, only level 2 Necrophos isn't really going to be itching for action right now. Really, all he wants to do is just sit back and get CS, get that Death Pulse up, and get enough levels to get that Ghost Shroud as well. If they land a crush on the IO, they'll be pretty happy to just do what damage they can, but with, again, only a Coddle Slardar, it's a very clunky combo. You can't really expect that to do all that much. Finishing blow-wise, they definitely need the Necrophos to be there. And they're going to try once again. That Illuminate is really good. The Skull is following. And I think it connected already with the Salve up. Woo is going to get that canceled, but at least will not die. Another crush into the Bristleback. He does not have his passive yet, so he's just as vulnerable as the next hero. Another Illuminate will fly through. Still won't quite finish the deal. In the meantime, over in the top lane, Art's in a little bit of trouble. Will once again be hit by the Rolling Boulder. Dominic's going to claim that kill on the Brewmaster. All these heroes battling it out. It's going to give Bloodseeker quite a bit of extra juice. Push that T out of lane. Is he stuck? He's actually stuck here. There's a clap that won't quite kill. Rolling Boulder will not get him out of there either. unfortunate for Dominic on that top lane. The Brewmaster at least gets something after all said and done. In the meantime, bottom lane, that fight for Infamous is, again, not going to work out for them. That's just the downside of using these heroes up against, well, a hero with a stun who lands it on an IO. It's not the easiest thing to do. You got to kind of play the Fog of War game. But as far as getting kills on Necrophos, he's already got those stick charges lined up. It's going to be more and more difficult moving forward. Tala is actually losing this lane by quite a bit versus the Bloodseeker. To be fair, everyone was at low HP, so lots of thirst stacks there for Robo to do whatever the hell he wants to do. Tala might be in a little bit of trouble here. Dominic is going to think about moving in, decides instead to go back up towards the top lane. Art's already kind of being softened up here. There's an Arcane Rune, so Earth Spirit's fairly dangerous, but he's going to walk into a handful of heroes. Actually rolls into Dashka, but Benjaz is here. 2 points of Shadow Strike. Should be a guaranteed kill, especially with the kick landing. Dashka looking for another crush? No. Doesn't have the mana, doesn't even have the cooldown. Now Art slowed down even further. Perfect wall block from these heroes. Another Shadow Strike, level 2. Brewmaster has 6 stick charges. Someone's coming in maybe to get the deny. That's it. Looking like it's the best case scenario. Not going to happen. That's stun, plus the level 2 poison. Smashing this top lane. In 2 games in a row now, Infamous are just destroying the dual lane of Midas's top. Not even close. Great swap up here with that. If the Bloodseeker was up on this top lane again, this would be a much different story. But he is having fun beating Tala over in mid. As I say that, Dashka's going to arrive with the crush. Got to sprint a little bit more, and he's going to end up outrunning his friendly TA, so even if a crush were to land, wouldn't really be doing all that much. Arms does have the stick charges, and hey, look at that, back up to full HP. Thank you, Ice Frog, for Ghost Shroud. Thank you. And this dual lane on the bottom lane for Infamous is the only thing that's really not going perfectly for them. Not that much CS on Nada, not that much he can do offensively versus these heroes. And now Wu is actually being chased out, will get hit with the skull. I don't think that's enough. Unless Dashka goes in. Run Wu. Dashka's really itching for some action, because he knows that there's nothing else he could really be doing at this stage. You might as well try to bully the lane that you're closest to, but now he's caught in the shrine. Io is going to juice up Nada instantly. And they've actually gone for, 1 point in the goo. Interesting. That's a very aggressive build. Tala is going to get ruptured. Roll is going to miss. They do still have that stun, and they actually kick him so that he just bleeds out on the way out. Smooth plays. These kind of hidden combos. Art on top lane in the meantime, trying to take advantage of the fact that there is no second hero here versus Benjaz, but Benjaz does have a salve and 7 stick charges, so actually killing off this Quap, not going to happen just yet. He'll salve up, back up, coming in from through the lane. Art does not have another clap right now, and he is going to have to face up against a stun and a silence. It doesn't even matter. He's already dead. Benjaz is dominating over in mid lane. Robo, quite fast thanks to those thirst stacks, but not quite fast enough. There's 2 out of the 3 lanes being very convincingly won by Infamous, with the third not doing fantastically. Io, level 2, Nada is going to be in a precarious position right now. Only has 1 point in that passive. Does turn his back and is going to try his best. Oh, Wu, you do not want to be there. Behind the slaughter is a bad place to be, because that means the crush is impossible to miss. That was unfortunate. I think he wanted to end up right here, but just short. And the aggressive power of this lane is pretty much just gone. They can't really recover offensively anymore. Bristol back Io, they can definitely start looking at camp stacks. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's actually quite a few. Ancients. So the path to recovery is in the jungle. But the more they push unsuccessfully, that's a great Heartstopper or Elastic. The more they push unsuccessfully for aggressive action, the worse and worse it's going to be. Because they're really not doing all that much to stop or even slow down Necrophos or his allies. They're just kind of feeding over. A lot of extra cash. Especially with Dashka coming in one more time. Wu is going to not get stunned up. There's a tether here plus a bottle. Scythe, though, not quite enough. Nada still will go down. The roll is going to come in from Dominic. Stun is available, as is the silence, but who's he really going to go for here? The Necrophos got the last hit, so he had those regeneration stacks. Robo is coming in, getting body blocked by Dominic. Move your ass, Earth Spirit. And they will just run back towards mid. Very successful dive, and they go split up on top and immediately blink out. That was a panic defensive split anyway. Dashka, sitting in the shrine, is going to try to run away from the blood right, but actually still gets silenced by it. Kick onto 2 is perfect. They do anger the Prowlers a little bit, but now since they have the goo, they'll be able to do quite a bit of damage to Tala. No more stuns are here, though. They can't quite kill off the TA, but they do get a freebie on that Slardar. Infamous lane, said earlier, had to be successful, and they are doing much, much better than I thought they would. As long as they don't get their Ancients jacked, they should be fine. At this point, level 3 in the Quill Spray, you can stack up these 2 camps at the same time, like stack Quill Spray on them. You're just going to focus one at a time, though. They do not know that there's a Coddle right around the corner. Coddle Ob's going to be placed, and I think they know about that now. Illuminate will make it a little bit easier for Nada. Even takes down that Obs. One more Quill Spray, not quite going to do it. And they can't get the Centaur. They do fall back before the Cavalry comes in. Speaking of Cavalry, Brewmaster up on top without split is a vulnerable target. Dominic, level 4, not the highest level in the world for Earth Spirit, but definitely has enough with level 8 Quap behind him to get those kills. And it'll be going a little bit too deep at this point. Tall looking to do a little bit of recovery action himself. Laying a lot rougher for the TA than it perhaps should have been. Roll in is going to be slightly off the mark. That's awkward. There's Sonic Traps here, and Dominic is completely boned. Stun onto 2 is quite nice, but one melt shot, and he's dead. Even if he landed that slow, it wouldn't have done much. Again, much needed freebies here for Midas. They still have yet to deal with this Bloodseeker, though. It's gone from Midas. Blade Mail, Radiance, both incredible items in this game, actually. Perhaps would opt for Blade Mail to get some more just armor. Another roll gonna whiff. There's still a stun here, but there's no backup, so he's just gonna chill with the leak on him. Another hero, maybe presenting himself in the form of Slaughter. Will grab the bounty rune and sprint out. There's a rupture, and they actually do see him to land it. He has no TP. He's stuck in the circle, will get out, but is not looking too healthy. There's a crush here, but they have a kick, which I think should just kill him if they use it. Or they'll just right-click him down. That's good, too. Meantime, Benjez once again picking a fight with the Brewmaster. We'll back off in time. The Ancient Stack still... eyes being kept on it. No real action in that direction, though. Dominic, looking with the haze. There's a clap and a split here, but I don't think that's enough to kill off an Earth Spirit by himself. Especially since he doesn't have enough mana to cast it all. Benjez is running around without answer right now. Going for a straight Orchid Rush makes the life of Necrophos and Brewmaster incredibly difficult. Let's be honest, it's good against everyone, right? It just does so much damage. Arms is going to find a handful of heroes here. A Death Pulse did not connect. They're doing exactly what they have to do in order to shut down this Bristleback. Prevent him from jungling. The problem is that it's taking quite a long time, and Arms is now in a really precarious position. Because the jaws are closing shut. Roll in will just be short. And they are fighting in the shrine. Robo is hit with the mana leak. If they can burst down the Bloodseeker for a sight, that'll be a monstrous kill. But the stun is there. Slowing it down. And now the bleed out onto the Necrophos. There's no mana, though, for that Silence Circle just yet. Now it'll be applied. Perfectly timed, I'm sure. He'll Ghost Shroud, though, take no damage. And with the split, they will fall back. Shrine already committed. The Bristleback is in the front, exactly what they want to do. And a nice kick and silence combo from the Earth Spirit. Going to give them a little bit of extra cover, but they can't roll out. It actually failed. And they'll also lose the Bristleback to the Scythe. Now the lift up onto the Bloodseeker. He'll fall back into a swarm of enemies. And he doesn't have any backup here. The IO is not willing to go back into this. They'll lose 3, as Midas will bring in everyone and their mom. Will lose a tier 1 tower in the top lane in the meantime, but this is perhaps even bigger than those 3 kills. They will take the Ancient Stack of the Bristleback. This is obviously gold for them, but more importantly, this is gold that's not going to be claimed by the Bristleback. Experience that the IO is never going to see again. Ancient Stack is being cleared rather slowly, but you know what? I think they should have most of it for them. Tala's actually not that healthy. They take a handful of the big ones, roll in for Dominic, but he is all alone here. I'm not really sure if that was the play. Nice 2-man stun. Mana leak plus the bump back. They'll go for the Keeper of the Light. Damage-wise, they got him. Ambitious TP, and they're going to keep going for more. They only have a silence. Benya's going to arrive without the Orchid, unfortunately. Dominic, once again, perhaps going a little bit too far for his own good, is going to land a nice stun, keeping the Brewmaster away from his allies. And with Benyaz coming in, Infamous at full strength, we'll get yet another tower. Not the biggest kills in the world, but still, they're not going to complain. Tower almost going to give Benyaz that straight Orchid pickup. He's level 11, man. This Quap is ready to go. And with this Orchid, can pretty freely choose her targets, especially if she has a double damage rune. It is spotted by the TA, but it's not like you can really play around it that much. You could Cyclone from the split Panda and take that double damage rune off that way. It's kind of clunky, though. I mean, you actually have to land it. God, pauses. That was still a great fight for Midas. They don't take the entirety of the stack. Bristleback will get a couple of the fatter Ancients on the stack. But still, he's got not really that much of note here. Yet despite that, I mean, he's still ahead of the Brewmaster. Those deaths for him, really, really costly. The Brewmaster can definitely, just by design though, do a lot more with a lot less. Split in that last fight wasn't really insanely powerful, but it was good enough to get them a win. Bristleback does not have that same type of impact, especially having gone for that 1 point in goo. Is not really as tanky as level 7 Bristleback should be. His back was turned downhill, which is like the ideal situation for a Bristleback. It wasn't good enough. They're going to jump in. Orchid, freshly picked up on the Necrophos. He's just going to die to it. He's going to Illuminate, which will be returned in kind by a Sonic Wave. Nice Illuminate, bro. Queen of Pain does not care. Jumping forward, Scream, double damage. Missing a handful of times on this Brewmaster. But still, that's a nice 2-kill for Infamous. Getting Benyaz involved in these fights. And they get a bounty rune as well for Wu. A little bit extra gas if they do want to continue the fight. Perhaps on a Slaughter who's coming in way too far away from his allies. They do see him. And if they stun him, he's just dead. They Orchid him instead. They stun 2. And they'll take both of these out. No, he'll split up in time. He'll be just fine. With the Mana Leak onto the Queen of Pain, she does have stick charges. And the IO messed up to relocate. I think Queen of Pain should still be okay, maybe. Oh, there's another blink soon. Cyclone is coming in range. The IO's going to give her a little bit more juice, a little more mana, and then go down here to help out perhaps Robo Z, who's just gunning for arms. Cyclone down to the IO. He'll get the kill there. With the Mana Leak onto the Bloodseeker, they'll keep him in place for a little while longer, but he's still pretty quick. Nice 3-man stun is going to give Robo a little bit more time. Quap thinking about reinitiating, but isn't really sure if she wants to do that. Illuminate just off the mark, and Robo is pretty quick, but he's stuck in the trees. He's going to drop down another Silent Circle, but it won't do anything. Bristleback in the meantime, just trying to recover. And Infamous get baited perhaps a little bit too far. Although, Benya's going to jump in. Orchid onto the Slardar. That Shadow Strike does a lot of damage, additional slows, and right clicks. Actually kick him up the high ground, kick his body up there. Heart's got to be a little bit careful here as well. There's not that much mana on Benyaz, actually. He's fine. In the meantime, Nada had pretty much nothing. Now at least has a hood. It's really good up against Coddle and Necrophos, but pretty trash up against TA and Slardar. It's really hard to defensively itemize up against the Midas side. They're so split in their damage forms. Should give him some decent value though. When he has a mechanism being built on his friendly IO, so just that armor component. It's not the biggest armor item in the world, but it should be good enough. And they're on to the Brewmaster. There is some help here in the form of the Coddle. Mana Leak going to deplete a lot of that Queen of Pain's mana reserves. She's still healthy enough to jump forward for a little bit more. Kick just to make sure he's not going to pull any shenanigans. And in the meantime, bottom lane, Nada. Hood is not going to help you versus this set of heroes. He's going to throw out a lot of quills, but TA's now arrived, and oh my god. Is that still only level 1? That's actually level 3 passive. They do not lose the Slaughter yet, although he will die. Tried the deny there from the Coddle. Benyaz and Wu taking a lot of heat here. They will lose the IO. Benyaz with more right clicks, trying to get the kill on the Coddle, will end up going down. Straight blink out. Dominic rolls out as well. He'll be okay as Bloodseeker, kind of late to that party, will arrive just in time to give them a little bit of reinforcements, but Dominic walking up the high ground at half HP, kind of bold. Benyaz is fairly healthy as well. Blink forward. There is a Yule Scepter on the Necrophos, so he can now cast spells. He'll fall into the Blood Right, and he'll dodge it though. There's a split here on the Brewmaster. They're going to try to slowly roll out, but that speed of roll is not going to be good enough for him to survive. You are dead, sir. Benyaz going to get a clean escape. Love these chaos fights, man. Just action everywhere. And Queen of Pain definitely is excelling in these type of engagements. Does seem like the Bristleback, though, needs a handful more items or levels if he's going to succeed and actually survive. Definitely needs to mix in some armor in his build. Like, 7 armor is reasonable. Has the Poor Man Shield for a damage block. But you're facing up against Meld and a Desolator TA. You need more armor than what you have right now, if you're actually going to be tanking to any reasonable degree.
That's for me.
Bloodseeker was AWOL in that last fight. He's working with that Midas again. He's had that for quite a while, and is gonna go for that Radiance. Radiance on Bloodseeker usually I'm pretty, average on, but in this game it's really good. That mischance is gonna be killer. Minus armor. They got a lot. -8 now on the Roche. -18, never mind. There are IO spirits right around the corner. And the Earth spirits here as well. Spotted out now. Wu needs to get out of here. Gets bumped back by the blinding light. Roshan's still not dead just yet. They sight the IO. Not quite good enough. He is going to tether back towards his ally. Sonic Wave lands onto everybody, but it's not going to be good enough because the split comes out, and the Yule Scepter on the Necrophos is going to keep him safe. Earth Spirit slowly stunned up by that rock. Nada's going to be here to maybe help out, but there's not much he can really do here. Roshan slowly but surely going down, and maybe the Earth Spirit going down a little bit faster. The Dire's Courier going to die in the meantime. Dominic should be taken down here. Nada as well, losing a lot of his mana. Benyaz is going to jump right in, trying to jack the Roche, but he's not going to get it. Tala's going to take everything. Is hit with a lot of damage, but should still be fine. They set up another Yule's stun onto the Bloodseeker. Big melt hit, a couple more, and with the right clicks, Heartstopper Orchard to take them down. Not even needed. Nada's in the front once again. He's doing a lot of damage to the Quills, but not quite enough. They're always just short. As Illuminate does fly through, Templar Assassin's gonna fight to her dying breath. She does lose just the Aegis from that one. Benyaz on his way out will get the silence onto the Necrophos. There is a Yule Scepter here, but he can't quite close the distance. Infamous lose really just one in the Brewmaster. That was not, or Midas Club rather. I think only lose the one. I don't think anyone bought back or anything like that. No, it was just that one hero. Necrophos does have the Yules. He will cleanse himself of all of those poison and dot effects. Now get right back to half HP. Stun onto the Earth Spirit will make it another kill for Midas. Yeah, they're all taking some damage from Magnetize, but it's a small price to pay. Take down Roche. Take down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes with a tower with Roche Gold. That is an absolutely disgusting swing and the slowest fight recap of all time. But still, that gold swing is impressive. Blink Deso on the TA, Blink Dagger on that Slardar. Level 10 whenever he wants to read this book. And the Necrophos, he survived the entire time. He's going to go for the Ags rather quickly, opting to go for that straight away instead of that Rod for that Disable. And the Brewmaster got quite a bit out of that as well. Not quite enough for a Blink Dagger, but he should have that locked up shortly. Infamous may not be feeling that great about their gameplay at this point. As much damage as Queen of Pain does, can't do it all. She's gone for a Solar Crest. I don't mind that item too much. I mean, the Orchid is, like, it feels like a caster item, like, when you read it, but it's actually really more of a right-clicky item. Or it can be, if you want it to be, and that Solar Crest is going to enable it. When it's not activated, when it's not shining, yeah, it'll be pretty nice up against this Midas armor. That being said, I'm still not sure if her allies have enough right now. Bloodseeker did go down there, crucially just short of that relic. Not only will it lose that fight and the mid lane tower, they'll also lose the entirety of bottom lane. trying to make a push happen up towards top, but it's just short once again. Again, if they had her out of Atos, pretty good answer to a Queen of Pain. Now, maybe not once she has Lincoln Sphere, but it's another disable you have, and they have been mostly just using like Mana Leak as their primary means of disable. The Coddle's been landing that with the Blinding Light almost every single time. It's a little bit of a clunky disable, but hey, it drains out a lot of mana, and it stuns them most of the time, so you can't complain. Midas are pushing up top lane now. Infamous trying to push the other lanes as fast as they can. Speed is not really their strong suit in pushing. Not right now. Top lane down. Vengeance does do quite a bit of damage here. Oh, God, why? Ugh. These pauses are killing me, guys. These pauses are killing me. The tower is down, though, Tala. BKB en route. And the Necrophos, well, it looks like he has Ags coming out to him. Oh, that's a stacked courier. A little bit of junk here for Dashka, but some really big stuff for Arms. I mean, you're a support Slaughter. You got to play the cost-effective game. Really, all he's there to do is Blink Crush, cycle out, and then Blink Crush again and again while applying that Corrosive Haze. If you can get like a BKB, fine, but I don't. Is that what you go for as a Slaughter here? What do you go for? Let's take a look. Medallion into Solar Crest is pretty insane up against Infamous. I don't think you can really go for like, Pipe, and that's not really that good. Lotus is really good, but a little bit out of his budget. It looks like he was thinking about going for Midas for a little while there. It would have taken him quite a long time to get there, but it would have been pretty sweet. I think it's probably Medallion Solar Crest for Slardar. Force Staff is also not too bad. Gives you quite a few options in initiating. Wow. Yeah, but Dashka is... It's not easy to get gold on the Slardar here. Let's just see what we got in total here. Wish there was some way for me to like keep this up without holding down my button. Yasha, how close are you? 4K? That's the Relic. Not quite Radiance yet. Again, Radiance is really good. But those past couple fights were really convincing. I mean, it's going to be a Bloodseeker essentially gaining 4,000 gold, because right now, Midas and Yasha is not really great for what they need him to do. A lot of his gold is tied up in just gold, not items. And if not, I can get a handful of items. Halberd is insane up against that TA. Still has to worry about that Necrophos, though. That Scythe is going to be really, really threatening to deal with. Whenever you want to, Scythe. See an enemy, Scythe them. Why not? It's a low cooldown. Benjaz is going to silence the Slardar before he can jump in. They do also kick the rock kind of preemptively, but now the Eul Scepter onto the Queen of Pain. Crush is perfect. The Scythe is going to be way too early. It is Agged, so it's not really the biggest deal in the world, and actually do set up for an IO kill, perhaps. As long as they don't mess up this Crush timing. There's actually no one that he can tether to. Oh, there is someone he can tether to in the Earth Spirit. If he rolls away, there's a chance. Never mind, he's dead. Bam. They don't get the Quap. Perhaps the lack of Atos there going to be costing them that kill. But, again, it's a Scythe with an Aghanim Scepter. It's up in 10 seconds, and he barely felt it. It is quite a bit of mana, though. Like, when you Scythe someone, you really do want to get that kill so you get the mana sustain from the Death Pulse regeneration. And that's kind of costly, but he has Eul Scepter. He has Chakra Magic. It's not a big deal. The team has a tower in their sights. Again, it's going to be Infamous trying to split push as best they can just to get something in the meantime. They will not be able to hold their tower mid lane. Nada has backup in the form of Quap here. Arms, they're ready to use that Eul Scepter. And he's going to take a Sonic Wave to the face, and he's just dead. He was actually stuck in the trees, I think. Blink Clap is going to land to the Bristleback, but a straight TP is going to get him out of there. And Arms really jumping the gun there. Using Yule's offensively is fine if you have backup, but he arrives and can't cast anything, just straight dead. And to be fair, you don't expect a Queen of Pain to be there necessarily, but feeding over a lot of gold to that Quap. Radiance done. Quap building up that Lincoln Sphere. This is going to be a pretty dangerous timing coming in, though. The Aghanim Scepter is very close to completion for this Coddle. Dashka, I don't really know where he's going. He found a couple of enemies. He really wanted that bounty rune. He really did. And it wasn't good enough. He's going to see that the Bloodseeker has Radiance, but there's not really much you can do to play around a Radiance. You have to accept that it's there now. Midas Club down to Slardar. They do have a BKB coming in on the TA, and whoa, they found themselves a Bloodseeker who's out of mana. Scythe is available as well. That should kill. You're dead. Earth Spirit rolling out of there. They have Slaughter respawning soon. Another Blink Clap momentarily. And they do land Mana Leak. Dominic does not have enough for a kick. He will get pushed back straight into the TA. That's not fun. 2 more for Midas Club here. Arms is not going to be able to defend his bottom lane up against that push from the Quap. I don't believe Quap can actually kill him, though, because of the fact that he has both Ghost Shroud and Yule Scepter. As long as he doesn't waste the Yules, it's not going to go down here. Bristleback does complete up an item in the Halberd. Still not a super impressive amount of farm on Nada, but this Halberd is such a cost-effective pickup that he may just be able to contribute regardless. Just Mischance, man. Mischance is pretty good up against TA. TA is a threat. I'm constantly talking as if Infamous are really far behind. Like, they're technically not. It just seems like they're not getting anything done, and this is happening a lot. They're really just struggling to start these fights, whereas on the other end, Blink Slardar, Blink Brewmaster, easiest thing in the world to start these fights. They're just moving wherever they want to and getting whatever objective they feel like. This is all, keep in mind, without Aegis. Roshan is still respawning. Infamous may be technically ahead in golds. It's almost an irrelevant lead at this point. But they are not ahead in what they can do with that gold. They are seemingly a little scared. As well they should be. Full vision here from the Coddle. No gem pickup just yet, but they will see Nada. He has a hood there. Blinding Light is available. They'll yank in a Slardar going for the IO, but they miscue it with the Yule Scepter cast from the Necrophos. A big mistake may cost them? No. Never mind. Tala's here. He'll just butcher the IO. Easy peasy. Now looking for another hero to initiate on. Dashka has the Blink Crush, but everyone else has disengaged. BKB on the Templar Assassin used there. Kind of mediocre considering they just got an IO. They're going to go up the high ground anyway. With no BKB on the Templar Assassin. They do have this timing since it's daytime. Jump in. Crush on the Bloodseeker, but Slardar really all alone right now. Needs some help. Blinding Light going to give him a lot of help. Everyone else is just going to back off. Another Illuminate will fly through. Benyez blinked in. Careful there, Benyez. Split now active as they're going to, yes, be fighting in the Silent Circle. No BKB on the Templar Assassin. Doesn't matter. They scythe Benyez. And now the Bristleback. You gotta dispel that, man. There you go. Lands into a crush. Help from Wu is gonna help a little bit, but he's so far away from actual safety. He's just gonna get picked off. Arms in the front lines. Another Illuminate coming through. Big heals and a crush on Bloodseeker. Infamous are falling apart. This might actually be game because mentally they're just not in it. They just fed over like 3-4 kills, including a godlike spree on the Queen of Pain. And they got absolutely jack all. They did not kill a single person. They barely weakened these heroes. Now it is going to be darkness right now, so the Coddle is going to be a lot weaker, but I think the damage may have already been done. Rax in the mid lane will be claimed. Minus armor from Tala plus just raw damage is good enough. And now we can see the impacts of this lead. Truly what lead Midas Club have in the 5k net worth advantage. Earth Spirit can teleport behind them. Maybe looking to cut off some retreating heroes, but they have no Quap, no Bloodseeker for another 20. I'm pretty sure it won't take them 20 seconds to kill the rest of this top lane, so there's nothing they could do. Maybe they just could lose more heroes. That's not something good to do. Maybe you kill off the Rax. There you go. 10 seconds left. Easy retreat. If they try to chase, they will all die. That is almost a promise. And now for Midas Club, they are massively far ahead in all metrics. Map control is going to be theirs. They have more control over Roshan since they're going to take out these shrines. They're ahead in gold, they're ahead in items.
Has fallen.
Nobody tell them that Tala's waiting. Observer, there's no sentry. There's sentries on the IO. Oh, he's right there. Tala, what are you doing, bro? He's gonna pop BKB and still die. Oh my god. Okay, well, he's gonna buy back though. They really want to win the game right now as Arn tosses his own BKB. Benya's in the corner trying to blink out. Scythe is there. He's gonna fall for the second time. 90 seconds down the tubes for him. Brewmaster split as well. Chasing after Nada. Cyclone gonna cancel a TP. Boulder goes off onto the IO. Can't land a follow-up stun, but it doesn't matter. They've separated the perspective. They'll take him down. Follow-up stun finally does come in. A little bit slow as Tala does land those sonic traps. Woo, one shot, one clap. No, gets bumped out by the Coddle. Still dead to the crit. 4 heroes down. Who else wants a piece? Nobody. Robo is going to survive. I think his Ancient's going to die before he does. That's going to be infamous. Taking a spill in 30 minutes. Never mind. Robo will actually live. He does survive. Midas Club hitting their stride in a big way, as Infamous Young are going to be knocked out here in the SLI Invitational. Had a decent run, a couple of decent plays, but yeah, it seemed like the initiation or lack thereof from Infamous Young really, really troublesome. Like, how are they supposed to start a fight? I don't know. If they have a sheep stick on Benjaz, maybe, but that item is just not feasible in a 30-minute game, so that is going to cost them this game, guys. Arms 11-2-13, Tala 8-2-17. Rather impressive to say the least. And guys, we are going to have a short break now, as we are going to await our next game, Mad Kings versus Youth Fury, or something like Jury. No, I don't remember. It was some other non-English translation, but they're tagged up as Youth Fury here, so you guys have to deal with it. That's going to be happening in about 25 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. If you enjoyed it, stick around. We got more. If you have to leave, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at Mike Loris. My Twitch channel, Mike Loris. Everything should be Mike Loris because I'm consistent like that. I'll see you guys in 25 minutes. GG.